Good afternoon, radio listeners. Welcome once again to our program Homeland Defense Live, our weekly program here on Radio Station, where we discuss issues of interest to the community of Station. I'm Glenn Schmidt, host for the program again today, and joining me also Mr. Arnold.
It's a pleasure being here one more time.
And we apologize for the late start today, a few minutes late. So today is Sunday. It's the 8th day of September, right?
Yep.
8th day of September. Okay, and get right into the news for the week. Any interesting news for the week, Mr. Ram?
No, not that I really
Didn't keep up to date with the news.
No, because
Okay, well, I think last week we talked about Hurricane Dorian, which passed us by here as a storm.
I'm afraid to talk about hurricanes.
Afraid to talk about hurricanes.
Because I experienced one for the first time two years ago. 2 years ago.
That was your first one?
My first hurricane.
You're not Caribbean number.
Well, I lived too long outside of this region, and it is fearful to see how a hurricane does devastate, this region at times. So I'm fearful of it, so I'd rather not talk about it sometimes. But
well, at times, but yeah, it's a fact of life.
Yes,
we cannot avoid it. And as I say, they seem to be getting more and more fiercer, more and bigger
and
severe as time goes along.
Yeah.
Global warming, climate change is probably part of the equation. But we see Dorian, after it passes by here, they didn't do much around here. But we see also the destruction it's done in the Bahamas, especially where many folks have died, and a lot of destruction, a lot of devastation there.
But it went north, isn't it?
Well, it's left the Bahamas now, going off, I think, in the North Atlantic now, brushed the United States, some of the states there. But up to this morning, I read up to 43 persons died in the Bahamas.
Wow.
But they expect that number to go even higher. Yeah. So again, the caution to our local community, to be on the alert, to be prepared for the storms. This is the most active part of the season.
Yeah.
And I think at this moment there are a couple systems somewhere over between here and Africa that are making the way across the waters. So we have to be
brace ourselves for the impact.
Yeah, very vigilant as to what's happening in that area. Well, I understand this past week there was that town hall meeting I mentioned last week. It was not on Tuesday as I announced, but I think it was held
on Wednesday. I think.
On Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, from persons who attended and from what I've heard, nothing new. Much has been said in terms of the roads, because that was the main issue. Roads and erosion of the island. Well, the only thing we need to know about roads is when more money is going to
be allocated
on the ground.
Allocated for the project.
So that the existing project can proceed, and also that new projects can be started, because this one is taking so long. But there are other urgent areas that need
to be addressed. Yeah.
So nothing much new came out of that.
Well, I didn't go because I was planning to go, but then some other personal thing came up, so I said, well, no, let me do my thing first, before I go to listen there, because I know it's not going to be anything that I really, will want to hear, because if we have a project, and only now after we have so many months delay, now we're going to talk about it. Why not earlier, to let us know exactly, why is there so many delays, and then you're going to hold a town hall meeting, So, because the town hall meeting is not going to get the project up and running. That is the most important thing. We want to hear when the project is going to be up and running. Like you just said, when more money is going to be allocated for us, to continue to do whatever has to be done with the road and other infrastructure that, are lagging behind. For instance, housing and, when are these things really going to be, brought forward? When are they going to be addressed? So then if you have a town hall meeting, you must tell the people in advance, because when they have questions and inquiries, you can't wait on the last minute to tell them and then tell them something that it's not going to make them feel any better. If you have a town hall meeting, it has to be talked about. Well, we're going to start the road on this date, and we're going to do this on that other date. Well, then people know something is happening. But if you're going to just talk about we have delays, we have this and we have that, what good is that? So I say, let me stay home. So,
I think the town hall meeting was probably organized on last minute, hurry something.
Yeah, well,
because it was not, I didn't even hear a notice.
Well, I heard it from somebody else, so then I okay.
Okay. So we need to hear more about projects going forward. Also in the news this week, you heard about deaths on board of tankers in our waters.
No, I did not.
No? Right, you're not keeping up with the news. And that's, yeah. Well, I think recently this week they had, yesterday, 2 murders were committed on board of a tanker. Not in Statia waters, on the way between Brazil and Statia.
Okay.
Yeah, so somewhere on the open seas this happened. So this was the first port after the death. So of course everything has been handled here. So the suspect was taken into custody on board the tanker here.
Okay.
And I guess the 2 bodies, I guess, are also being brought ashore here to be repatriated. So yeah, well, no further details as to, why or what happened exactly. And I think a week ago there was also a person that died on board another tanker here in the waters. A cook on another ship was also taken off here in Statia for that too. There was no further information as to well, that one apparently from the news seemed to be sort of a natural death situation.
Okay.
But I guess there still needs to be some official investigation and official report, especially since everything is happening here.
Right.
Well, the last one, I think it concerns all Filipino crew. So the 2 death persons are from the Philippines, and also this person committed them also a Filipino.
Oh,
so you see,
a bit strange. I work with these guys. They are very peaceful guys. So
Filipinos.
Yeah, I worked with them for 10 years. It's very good people to work with. I must say, I never had any run-ins with them. Always get good cooperation.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened afterwards.
Well, not afterwards.
Well, after I left, then I left the business quite a while.
Filipinos a big country.
Yeah,
so
well,
they have a lot of people.
They have about
60 million people, I think, living in that country.
And they got over 20,000 people on board ships throughout the world.
20,000 aboard ship and hundreds of thousands more who work overseas, in all kinds of capacities, especially in the Middle East and so.
Right. Yeah.
So indeed, from Filipinos I've met, also very peaceful folks. But yeah, these things happen, can happen anywhere to anyone. Is that a call? Let's see if that's a call for us. Good afternoon, caller. Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
sir.
A question for you, Mr. Arnold.
Yes.
Tell me, ask you.
Yeah.
Why so much animals on the road cold?
Why so many animals on the road? Look, this is a problem I came and met. Yeah, and I have not seen any serious. Well, okay, they done something about it when I came the first year, but then they just, when the people cut open the fence and let the animal go, then they just left it to that, and no one tried to do anything about it
What
afterward.
about what they did about it the first year when you came?
Well, they pen them in there where they have made in station now. The animals was there.
They
The-
used to cut grass on the airport.
No, but
Now I pass this morning, I see the grass cut short. So how the animal gonna get food?
well, I don't know. What I'm saying is what I've seen when I'm here. They had the animals there for a while, and then someone cut the fence, and the animal went out back on the street. And after that, nothing was done. The animal just stayed out.
Yeah, but they can't cut it. They can't cut the grass so short on the airport. That's where they getting the food.
But you have to bring the grass out from there. You can't. So who doing that? The person who cutting the grass, they have to cut the grass and carry the grass to the animals, isn't it?
Yes, but who over that department?
I
Saying the airport manager do it. Is somebody who are in charge tell them to do that?
But
Somebody in charge of what? The airport managers in charge of the airport.
Yes. You think I understand the Jamaica fella would tell the callers to cut the grass.
But the grass have to be cut all the time in the
Yeah,
airport.
but that's where the animal getting feed.
Well, so when the animals need feed, the animal owners or people from LVV go to the airport and take what grass they need. And what else is left behind, you have to cut it. The airport needs to be cut regularly.
yeah.
In this thing with the carnival village, I understand it's charging $5,000 to get a carnival village. What kind of rip-off that is?
Who getting $5,000?
I don't know who charging that.
Oh, so they're charging $5,000.
I hear Snake charge that. I don't know. That was here.
Okay. Well,
$5,000. The government has give $15,000 to the carnival village. You got to pay $5,000 over that to the carnival committee or whatever.
Not the committee. The committee gets the 15,000 from the government. The 5,000 has to go to the Lions Club, who
Yeah,
runs the Carnival Village.
No, I don't know much about that, so I will have no comment.
Well, a lot of people say they ain't coming back stage because they had a jury morning, they had a calypso show, so they ain't coming back.
Yeah.
But we're trying to do what we see other islands doing. We want to bring in artists. We have $12,000 to bring them in all of that. We want to put sleeping police in the road down there, cool corner. Everybody is knocking them down. The roads are small already. We want to do what we see other islands doing. So that is the problem here.
Well,
So who running this carnival? It looks like they won't got the guitar because they didn't know what they're doing.
well, I can't give much comment on that. I don't really participate in it, so I can't give any comment.
Yes, a lot of people say they ain't coming back. Because people are mostly come for Joey morning, and they ain't got that.
Why not? Why not? But
I don't know if
but that's
they
part
pay
of
all
the,
the
that's
money
part that's part
to
of the
oversee
carnival.
the what?
But that's part of the carnival. I mean, at the end, that's the closure of the whole festival, and how that could be missing.
I can't understand because they were charging $20, $30 a night. And
Oh,
most
okay.
of the nights over there full. So I
Okay.
can't understand what is going on.
You know, you got to do some investigation of your own.
Huh? I don't know the carnival committee making money according to me. But I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, well, somebody have to be held accountable. If they're making money, somebody have to be
You
held
will bring an
accountable.
artist for $12,000 a night. I mean to bring them in all of that kind of foolishness. Huh? We want to do what we see other islands doing, and we can't afford it.
Well, you say they're making money, so they could afford it if they bring the.
Yeah,
if-
they're making money, but where the money going then?
well, that's the question. That is the $50 million question. Where does the money go? They're making money,
Yeah. Well.
you know.
Well, Carnival, we didn't get much updates or report on
No, because
exactly what went down with the Carnival, especially why there was no
Juve.
Juve.
Yeah, but that is the most that well not the most
I
that's
like
the end. That is the ending of it
I
all.
like the caller say that's what everybody looks forward for.
And that was not.
Looks forward to.
And that wasn't this year. That was not part of it.
I understand there was no Juve that usually held on Saturday morning, but why? I don't. There was no explanation why it didn't happen.
Yeah. Well,
for the rest of the carnival, well, like we say, the Carnival Village is the money has to be paid to the Lions Club.
Yeah, the $5,000.
Yes. But we also hear, these carnivals a lot of times are money-losing ventures overall. So
it's not supposed to be losing.
It shouldn't be.
It's supposed to be making money because it's a festival. It draws a lot of even foreign people to come to the island.
A lot of people come to the island for that.
Yeah.
And you have all it's vacation time, vacation times. A lot of folks on the island. Most of the young people are here during that time. So what exactly went down? We don't know this year, but we know there was a back and forth between the last president of the Carnival Committee, who I think has resigned her location right now, and the Lions Club, especially Mr. Snake, who I think is the president of the Lions Club at this time, as to exactly what went on in the last Carnival season. Good afternoon, caller.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Smith.
Good afternoon. I'm good. How are you, sir?
Glad that you're back again after a extended vacation.
Thank you.
How was your vacation?
Vacation was good. The break was good.
Yeah, so you had a lot of time to think and analyze and scrutinize everything that's going on within the island.
All the time.
Okay, good. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to talk about because really and truly there's so much things to talk about that right now I just wanted to actually reintroduce myself on the airways. Today I want to bring myself as the big mouth black American. Yeah, I label myself today as a big mouth black American infant status. Tell them let's talk. I just move around a lot in the community. I just hear a lot of things. Did I talk about me? Did I talk about others? Did I talk about... I want to hear somebody talk something today. For years, you all gentlemen been coming to the airways and bringing light wherever you all can at times. And it's very good, But 10-10-10 came about. Oh, I cast my vote. I cast my vote. But today, it looked like I still got to jump the fence. Like I got to see. You know what I mean?
You have to do what?
My mother and my father bring me up good. I shouldn't have to feel like I got to be teaching or I got to... that's what this island feel like right now. But anyway, we're going to send out with sympathies to the people in Bahamas there, and anybody that can help. I see the lady for Mr. Van Putten there. She's doing another thing. I hope it's legit because when I give my money, I hope... I was a victim of Katrina too. I live in New Orleans, okay, and yeah, it wasn't nothing nice. So I hope.
So who you say is doing something for the Bahamas? Who you say is doing something for the Bahamas?
Yeah, I get a little donation yesterday.
Which Miss Van Putten?
Sorry?
Which of the Van Puttens?
Clyde Van Putten wife.
Okay.
Yeah, she's doing a thing. I don't know if it's legit or not, but that's the only person I approached me and said XYZ about that. So I saw something else on the Facebook where there's our account number that you can go by the bank here, the Windward Island
Yeah.
Bank, and you give a donation or whatever have you. But
Mm.
like my good friend Shanara put up a comment too. They're looking for pram, they're looking for bed, they're looking for sheets, they're looking for everything, anything you could send to them people in need. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I want to stress this. I was a victim of Katrina, okay? And that's like 14 XYZ years ago. And it's still fresh in my mind. Especially when I got to watch the footages that, it's out there on Facebook or on the news and XYZ. It's very hard. Very hard, you know? So,
Bring back
yeah, give all I
memories.
can.
Yeah.
Do it sincere from your heart, you know? So this one are about, just do it. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
All right. Thank you.
All right, have a good day, man.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Oh, I didn't know it was collecting anything for the Bahamas.
I didn't hear anything either. Maybe I need. Maybe on Facebook you'll get that news. I haven't been on
Okay.
Facebook for a while, so
Okay,
maybe
right.
on Facebook they have that information. Well, I heard. Yeah. Okay. Usually when they have hurricanes, they have collections. Or the churches or the Red Cross or different organizations do this.
Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't see anything in the news reported at sun, but like I said, maybe on Facebook there's a notice about that.
No, right.
Bahamas is far away, but maybe money donations can be made, like the caller said.
Yeah, at the bank, there's a
Can
number.
make monetary donations.
Yeah.
Because indeed over there it seems from the reports and the pictures you see, they need a lot because everything on some of the islands are just totally destroyed.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to need quite a lot of support for some time to come.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, so on the issue of the carnival, well, we'll try to get some
Yeah, we have.
feedback
Yeah.
to see what.
What is really going on? Because that's a bit strange. Because if money is lost, at least we should know that too. Just like when money is made, they should also report, well, they had a good year. They don't have to give the specific amount, but they must say, well, we had a good year, So, but if they don't say nothing, then, and then say they lost money, it's a bit strange.
Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, since nobody ain't calling and them kind of thing, I gonna try to take every little opportunity that I can. So, some deaths take place on a ship out there, and what's happening? We hearing nothing within the media. What's going on and what's going on? We need to know what's going on. We got terrorists there on them ship or what is, your mind sometimes does expand, as to really what's going on. We know the oil industry is a big thing,
Yeah.
Everybody wants to dip their hand. You know what I mean? So I would like a little enlightenment on that. 3 bodies. I think that's what I understand. 3 bodies. What's happening? And then I's a chef. You all know that. So the last man there they say is a chef.
The first one.
He was the first.
Yeah.
Oh shit! They kill me first. Yeah, they kill me first, boy. The chef is an important man, boy.
Well, again, in both cases, yeah, we don't know what happened there, so we can't really speculate. I think it's just
but
maybe
that's it. So
a dispute.
we want information. What's happening within our stores? You understand?
Yeah.
We just can't have these things happening. Somebody has to be accountable at all times. And we could go as far back XYZ in here in this situation. Understand? So much things. Yeah? Right now, sitting talking to you, I pretty much lost as, as, as to a good topic. What topics to talk about? You know? Okay, let me start this one now. I going to occupy your program today.
Take a
All
little
right,
time.
10,
Leave some
10,
time
10,
for some others too.
10,
Huh?
10, 10, 10, 10, 10 come, we had to vote, right?
Mm-hmm.
We vote. We make a decision. But what happened to the decision that we make? Answer me there, please.
What was the decision we made?
Huh?
What was the
You
decision?
don't know what?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the decision to make? What happened to 10, 10, 10? Because that's where we got to start our fight. You understand? And as station people too passive. Huh? They want to run them out here and there in the corner. Tell them I say, come on the radio and talk. And let's start by 10, 10, 10. Because we make a decision as a people. And the Dutch supposed to respect that. But today, we got to swallow herring. I don't eat herring. I eat a pigtail. Yeah, I gonna eat a pigtail, but I ain't eating no herring. The two of them salt. Yeah. I drink some water after that. Good afternoon.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Well, what happened after 10, 10, 10? I have no idea. I wasn't here then. And when I hear you guys had to make all the decisions there and then on the island. So,
Well, what happened after 10, 10, 10 is what happening now. Yeah?
Oh yeah, okay. Well, sign into some.
You've been here how many years? 4 years?
Yeah, 4 years.
4 or 5 years. So you've had quite it's more than half of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Good afternoon, caller.
Mr. Glenn Smith,
Yes, Mr.
a question.
Common Sense.
I hear something about a blank paper was signed by the politician. That's a fact?
A blank paper about a blank paper?
In Holland business or something like that. Up there in Holland.
When did that happen?
I don't know what year it happened. But that caused all of the situation here now what's going on. How you can sign a blank paper when nothing on it?
A blank.
Well, I don't think they sign blank papers.
It's a white paper, you mean?
So what the white paper had on?
Yeah, well, is inquiries, is things that has to be done or what they want to be done. That's what the white paper is all about.
But
Where
it
you
wasn't
find that document?
It wasn't a blank paper. Everything had something written, and we must expect that they read everything that was on it, and they put their signature, whoever they were, they put their signatures. Yeah.
Well, what on the paper?
Well, what we're experiencing now.
That was on the paper.
Yeah.
Well, so
But then what the politician fretting about?
well, so what are they fretting about?
Yeah. Well, they
If
could.
you sign for Holland to take over, what were you fretting about?
Makes sense.
I can't understand it.
Yeah, well, sometimes people want to eat a cake and have it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You
So
will put a white man to be your boss. Then you're going to expect it to be better?
Well, some people think some people think it'll be better.
Some people think so.
Yeah.
This area has come.
Beg your
I
pardon?
hear a fella said 2-3 months ago, he tell me about the Chinese. Why, Eddie, the best thing when the Dutch come in here. Now they got him knocking book now. I hear he's threatening. I don't know if the Democrats figure when Holland come in, they were going to take over the PLP and put it in. I don't know if they figured that or what.
Maybe they did.
But they're stupid. Because they got to have a vote. If they have an election, how would it possible? But then anything could happen.
well, anything could happen. So don't be surprised when you see it happening, even after election.
Because Holland to tell them, they live two man in charge.
Well, so
For the
that's
DP, two man for the DP in charge.
that's the talk. Yeah,
And nothing will happen.
we're gonna have election, but Holland will still appoint the commissioners.
Yeah,
And-
only two man in charge.
Well, so
And then why agree for it?
mhm.
If the people would sign up. So what are you fighting for? You
Yeah.
gotta take what we get. But
Yeah.
then they study, you have to study. Nazio.
Uh-huh.
You think
They're sending you to study what?
it's a one thing gone to study.
Well, I don't know if they're sending him to study for anything outside of his job. Remember, if
Well, you think his career is done now,
if they send him to study is about his job, they can't send him to study
You
something
think his
outside.
career now is done?
Well, I don't see it being that going to make his career flourish, because if he going and study, he going to study for what he's supposed to do in his job assignment. So, in other words, they wouldn't send him to study politics.
Well, see, for election tomorrow, you're going to get 200%. I tell you that.
Well, I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know. I doubt it.
I tell you that. I run this politics for years.
Well,
After they like Nadia's son, they like Nadia's son.
yeah.
That's station.
Well, I can't dispute that, but I don't. I looking at it from from a common sense standpoint, it is not right.
But a lot of things, but common sense, the thing you got to born with. You don't learn that in school.
Okay, that's quite true.
I always tell you that. If they don't sell it by peso, by duggan.
Well,
Otherwise, a lot of people might have had. Maybe they might not bite neither.
To Mr. Common Sense, what is the latest on the reorganization of the government?
Well, they
You gone to another department too?
No. One time government was breaking up. By Eddie, I lay down and study. Try to move it from the government into private.
Mm-hmm.
God, no government don't last 4 years here. So I can't understand if it no fella want to go in as deputy, he want to be inside, he want to be the boss. But the man where you put in as deputy, is he calling the shots? He only know he will only go to know what's going on if he wanted to know. When you know too late.
Mm-hmm.
I tell God now sometimes. Try to only go to know something when he wanted to know. Because he in there when he got basic. You inside of there.
so
But everybody wants to be the boss. You see, that's the problem in the station. Every man wants to be the boss.
no, everybody can't be the boss.
Well, that was going on. Everybody wants to be the boss here.
Yeah, well, everybody could be the boss in what they do, but they have to have someone who in charge to direct them when and how they must do it.
Well, Holland in charge now.
Well,
So
all
Holland
right.
will tell everybody.
What happened to your department?
Huh?
What happened to your department?
My department?
Yeah,
That's tourism department.
that's whose department?
Tourism department.
Tourism.
What do you mean, the commercial department or what?
No, where you working? Where you working for the government?
That's the
Tourism
department.
Tourism Foundation. That's why he said he left the government and went to private foundation.
Because I see no government for the last 4 years. Too much a smart man in there.
So I mean they couldn't protect you.
Now I hear they got a big man locked up this smart now again.
Yeah.
I forget his name, Ralph. You say, why were you
France
France.
Richardson.
Oh, that's a
got him
state.
locked up.
Okay, yeah, well, they're getting them. They're taking them down one by one.
But he's a big monk man. But they're going to catch everybody. I don't think they're going to catch my partner.
Who's your partner? Who's
Catch
your
William too easy.
who?
William Marley and they're going to catch him too easy.
All of them they're gonna catch.
No, they're
one
going to
by
catch
one.
William too easy. William and Sarah hand clean. They're going to catch it.
Well, if the hand clean is okay, but if the hand is not clean, they're going down too.
They're going to catch it. They're too smart for that.
Too smart?
When you go, your signature there, it never does mess you up. Sarah ain't going to sign. Now William ain't going to sign. They want to talk, but they ain't going to sign.
No, it's not that what they're taking them down for, you know. Eddie, they're taking them down for things they done in the past, just like France, just like Theo. They're taking them down because things are done in the past. They're investigating them, and they have once they have enough more than you, they're going to take you down.
Well, indeed, Franz Richardson, he was arrested this week.
Yeah,
in
but that is stay your right hand.
Right hand?
Well, they're working. Well, I say because Theo.
Well, all of them used to be together, and one Franz was in another party, was in Theo party before, he was in William Allen party, so all of them over the years worked together, so all of them used to support one another and whatever.
Well, yeah, whatever. Well,
good afternoon, caller.
Yep, Mr. Smith.
Yes.
The common sense department there. Yeah, you said something there just now, right? Touch my little, small little brain that I got. That's one thing you can't go by dollars, by peso. You can't go nowhere to buy that thing. That's something, partner. Your father, your mother have to have some kind of genes, that kind of thing, to have common sense.
Everybody got a little bit of common sense. From mother, father, everybody got a little bit of it.
My point is, you can't go by the shop to buy.
Of course.
Understand? And if some of the people here on this island, take a little bit of common sense that they have, and band together, join together, and try to make one big common sense, this place will be a better place than it is today. Over the years, I've been scrutinizing politics. I like politics from young. I'm not the brightest man, but maybe I might have some kind of common sense. You understand? But we have issues where airline, boat, and XYZ get food and everything. By now, some of the station people should have some kind of common sense and merge together and make these things a reality. But today, look, hey, let's take a good look at what just happened there last week in the Bahamas. Hey man, they got people reaching out, big helicopter, XYZ, but planes can't land. Now you can plan all you want, but you gotta do the right thing. You understand? And right now, okay, a helicopter don't work anywhere. Anywhere a helicopter don't work. Hey, the man himself, he lost his brother. He's the minister. He's the minister in XYZ. When a man loses a brother, you have to have some kind of sympathy, compassion, and things, because everybody going through the same thing at the same time. Hey, decisions, and sometimes you make a decision, somebody gonna ridicule you because of that decision. But at the same time, common sense. You gotta make the right decision. And to make the right decision, you have to make an assessment of the whole thing to come to a good decision. And no decision gonna be good at that time. But you still got to make a good decision.
Well, you do your best. You do your best with the information you got. You try to come to the best possible decision.
Yeah.
And sometimes your best decision.
Crisis time. That crisis. I tell you, partner. I went through Katrina in New Orleans, and the man nagging, what his name here,
Yes.
But that man scratched his head. That man scratched his head because crunch time. That's how the cookie that crumbles. When nature takes its course, Let me see how strong you is.
Well, you can't really
All this little
plan.
bickering and bickering they going on here within the station thing. We don't make a decision. Dutch got to respect that. But no, they take a different road. And now, we, the station people, not me, the rest all you out there, or you just fall or your hand and lead the Dutch do what I want. And that bad. But if I go up the road, or go down the road and drink a beer, or drink whatever it is I want to drink, somebody on point a finger. Looking, drinking again. Nobody ain't opening up. Hey, hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Stacia. The big mouth black American talking today. Let's go. So,
Okay.
All right, thank
Thank you for
you.
that. Yeah. Well, one of them before the caller called, the whole thing in St. Martin or in this region as a whole, what you probably hear me say that before, they're going to take down most or almost all of the senior politicians. The reason for that is they want them removed and they're going to replace them with new people, people who are, going to cater for what they want. And besides, too, the reason why they're going to get away with it, these former politicians, just like Theo in France, they have a kind of checkered past. And I don't know for Sarah and William, because I don't know their background really well, but I think if they also, like you said, they all work together, so there's a lot of things they probably done, yes, and they thought, well, it would have disappeared or go away, but this is what the Dutch are going to go and dig up to use against them, because the whole thing about integrity, that is why they are forcing this integrity thing, because they want them to sign up. Yes, because when it's integrity, then we have to go and check your background. Yes, and if you don't meet a certain, the criteria that, you was not involved in nothing criminal, no criminal act, and no illegal things, well, then you're okay. But once that is the case, then they have something on you. Then they could take you down and even imprison you. You see, because this is what they're using again. The same thing with Theo and France. So they're using that, and then they're going down the line until they put most of the top senior politicians behind bars. Because you see in Curacao, they're doing the same thing too. They take the, after Scotter, they take down some other guy again. So eventually that's what I envision they want to do.
Okay, let's take this call. Good afternoon, caller.
Smith,
Yes.
I'm so lucky. I'm grateful. I'm very grateful and thankful here in this island where I born and raised. I don't hear people say, "Oh, the low station." I'm talking about we own station people. I want to know how much the low station, really and truly. And then I'm gonna go back to something I say all the time. How much speech I have here in station. Because I guarantee you, if I open my mouth freely the way I would like to, by the time the end of this program, they're going to go car passing and I might get a cut eye. I don't know, they might swerve the car, so they make a mistake and everything. And all of these things is possible. Mind you have to look at the big picture in life. Crunch time is on here in space. Things happening.
Okay.
And it's, the islands are small. At times, words that get around. But sometimes, maybe by the time the word gets around, it changes. It's different. You understand? So, I don't know where you're getting the good information from. From whom? Who's good information? You understand? The government already divided the people. Nobody don't like nobody no more. They got songs that love don't love nobody. Okay? Um, next thing, no road ain't built yet. I hear, are you paying tax? Yeah, are you paying tax? I bet you go cross the road right there, that same cherry tree area. I show it a swimming pool right now. You could go and take a bath. But listen to me and listen to me carefully. If the local government was in there to this present time, you'll see a lot more roads. Yeah? Everybody would have been blessed.
Play.
Yeah, blessed.
Okay.
I don't speak 5 different languages. Me,
Anyway,
me,
thank.
the big more black American, I speak 5 languages fluently.
All right,
I
thank
might, I
you.
might, I might not can write all,
Hmm.
but I could speak, pronounce, and understand.
That's important.
Understand?
Okay, thank you for that.
Tell my special people, I say, wake up, open them out. If a mosquito bite you, say, ow. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, say, ow. And I'll say this to the last. You might think I'm taking up your program and things, but check this out. I, as a person, as a citizen of this island and civilization, I don't agree with the Dutch the way they come and do what they do. I thought no. They want change. Pine and Charles was about change. Change come in different ways and fashion. You understand? You had a Toyota 10 years ago. Now you want a Hyundai. That's change. You understand? So, tell the Dutch we, and I gonna speak for all people right now in this situation. I don't agree. Might how good, might have, but the most of it look bad, especially when they can show the citizen people any damn different than my own people here would do. Understand? So I ain't seen no difference. All I've seen is law, 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 law. Every day is a different law. I'm tired about the laws. They're making laws, suppressing the people here. But
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
All right, thank you for that.
yeah.
you have a good day.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Tell us the people to open them out.
All
Let's
right.
talk.
Okay.
One thing he made a valid point that last comment there about the laws. That's all they do. They make a new rules and regulation, but we ain't seeing much physical action on the ground, and that's bad. Because the whole thing about laws, you know how I feel about that. You cannot make laws unilaterally. It has to be bilateral to make a law, because when you do it unilaterally, it's a measure, it's not a law. So that's all they're doing is putting down all these measures, and we're sick and tired of measures. We want to see action. Put physical things on the ground. The road, build the road, okay, build out the infrastructure there, but don't start to bring new rules and regulation, because that ain't going to get us anywhere. We had enough of that. So the caller is right on that point.
Well, indeed, over the years, we've had a lot of new laws introduced since
10, 10, 10.
2010.
Right.
Good afternoon, caller.
Yes, me.
Yes, sir.
I was up the road a little while ago, about maybe an hour and a half ago or something, and I met a good lady, a very nice lady, common lady, well-known lady in this community, And I mentioned to her, I say, Smith on today. I say, you want to say something? say, I tired. She say, I getting old.
Mm-hmm.
She say, she want to pass it on to the younger generation.
Okay.
Mine and her, quote unquote, whichever you want, it's me. Okay? Anyway, so I turn to her and I say, but look your daughter there. She ain't talking. She said no. You know? She said no. She ain't gonna talk. You know? But anyway, in all its entirety, I still beg the lady, you know? I know she's listening right now. Yeah, she's listening to us right now. You know? So, Miss Lady, you hearing me? Call. You tell me you don't think about it, man. Don't think no more, man. Don't think. Just call and say your piece. Yeah. Somebody gonna listen to you. Call. I ain't gonna call. I want to call the name, you know, but I have a little discrepancy and things. So I want her to call, please. Tell her call. Voice your opinion, Miss Lady.
All
You're
right.
very valuable here in this island. Yeah. We miss your voice. Call.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
All right. Well, it is true we need other people to call, you know, to voice their opinion or whatever they have on their mind, to speak up, you know, because then we will get a better idea of how people feel about the situation they're in. But if everybody stay quiet, then we have to assume that they are somehow pleased with the situation.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, one other thing that was in the news this week was about this, well, you know, we have a lot of talk in the past about our banking on the island, you know, as we have only one bank here now. And somehow in Holland, you know, they are discussing about the possibility of people on the island, you know, being able to do business with banks in Holland. Yeah. So via internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, you know, who that service is intended for, because based on what the local, say, population needs in terms of banking service,
Right.
you know, you cannot get all of that service via internet with a bank in Holland. This is maybe more interesting for either people from Holland who are living here, maybe people from here who have lived in Holland. Let's try this call here. This is call. Good afternoon, caller.
Smith,
Yes.
you got any information on the Golden Rock houses? Anything? You got anything on that? Enlighten the general public of individuals and particularly the residents of Golden Rock.
Golden Rock houses in terms of what? In terms of...
What's really happening?
Well, I don't think that much is happening with the Golden Rock houses right now. Not much that I know about. Hello?
So you don't hear nothing through the grapevine?
Well, there's always a lot of shoo-shoo going on, but nothing confirmed, you know. The government people need to come out and say definitely this is what is happening or this is what is happening.
That's exactly the problem. You're
Well,
hearing
so,
all kind of shoo-shoo.
yeah.
I don't want to hear no shoo-shoo.
Well, I think what's going to...
I want to hear facts.
There are some things happening in Golden Rock. I think they're going to renovate houses in Golden Rock in the next period. You know, some time ago an agreement was signed by the local government and Woonlini in Holland. So they're going to start a process of renovating the houses.
All things happened before. And decision was crushed.
Well,
in the prologue.
Well, that can happen, you know, but all I'm
So
saying...
what's up now? What's the new thing now? And nobody is saying nothing. You understand? But I could hear on the road they're going to throw me out of my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hearing that on the road.
Well, you don't have to
Everybody
worry.
could talk about me. Huh?
Don't worry with what you
Everybody
hear
could talk
on the
about
road.
me.
Don't worry what you hear on the road.
My
eh?
mother gone. They didn't give me a chance. They didn't give us a chance to bury my mother good. Huh? Zetica, the doctors, X, Y, Z. But they want to put me out of a rope. Something my mother paying for 45 years. I mean, it's this that we live in. Small. I mean, but Jesus Christ. You want to put me on the road. Huh? So where do you want me to go? Huh? Where do you want me to go?
Yeah.
Really and truly. I mean, let's talk.
Yeah, but
let's
you must
talk
go.
Real life situation here on the ground. You know?
Talk
But
to the
what they gotta be
people.
doing, they ain't doing. But they want to win XYZ, XYZ, XYZ. That I ain't want to really say here on your radio. See, I ain't use a bad word yet.
Yes, you do use a bad word.
I trying and I trying hard. But more to come. Yeah.
Okay.
More to come. I tell you, tell people, say some people, I say, let's deal with the issues and stop worrying who XYZ and who XYZ in. You understand? There's no bigger things to deal with. Let's start with the airport. Let's start with the harbor. Let's start XYZ, XY. Hey, you know what happened? I hear the more Mr. Hook. Yeah? Mr. Hook working government building as a agenda or something like that. Yeah? Like a postman, whatever have you. So the more the man they put in public work. I mean, really and truly, what the hell are they doing here? Because it seems like they didn't know what they're doing. Seriously. The way they're moving and the takeover. Man, if you come and take over something, huh? Any position, right? You come to make it better, right? But it look like we're going backwards. And look, that's my message out there. I want my people to start to speak out. Stop sitting on the corner. Don't worry about me. God is good. All are we. So I go survive. I went through Katrina. I went through XYZ of my life. I'm younger than some of you. When I say some of you that working in government, stand up. Hey, the pain only gonna hurt for so long, you know. The pain over enough. You understand? Take a stand. When Papa Godet and them boy didn't do the thing down there, so you think them boy didn't know what they're doing? Them boy had know what they're doing. The pain only gonna last for so long. But I ain't gonna take it all the days of my life.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, my people.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyway, folks, we're almost out of time. You wanted to say something?
No, well, you know, the caller, he's making some points, and what we have to do on the island is true. We have to get up, you know, and do something, because if not, things going to continue the way it is, because it seems that we are pleased with what is happening because nobody is not saying anything, nobody's not doing anything. So, well, they get the idea that, well, we are okay, so let's let them proceed with what they're doing. So the caller made a valid point. The station people get up and be counted. That's the only way we're going to get things done, because, like I said before, legislation, passing laws, or abiding by laws is not going to change anything. So you have to get up and make your voice heard.
And how should the people do that?
Well, we all have, when all of us feeling the pain, we have to get up and go down by the office down there and say, well, enough is enough. We want a change. And I think that is going to bring the change, because if all of us, you know, unanimously said, well, no, we're not going to agree with all of these regulation or these measures, like I call them, then they will have to go back to the drawing board and come up with something else. But if we stay and don't do anything, well, then they think, well, what they're doing is okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the problems is, and we discussed that a lot, is that the island or the community is divided along a lot of different lines, eh?
Too many lines.
Well, so if you want to make a fist like how you're saying and how the caller's saying, then you have to go as one block.
Definitely, you can.
united.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
if you're
One man thing.
divided
Yeah,
this way and that way,
can't create no momentum.
well, so I think that's the problem, and I think the only thing really will solve that situation. Well, not solve it, but at least we can
Bring
move a step further.
Yeah, well,
Is if you
that
have, let's say, a local election, and you elect a new government, then we move on from there.
okay.
Yeah, at least you get rid of the Dutch domination or the Dutch control. Yeah, and you have a local government elected, and then you can move forward. Yeah, I guess that's what most of the people say
See-
they want to happen.
Well, it ain't going to
It's-
happen if they sit down.
Well, it's not going to solve the divisions because politically people are divided too,
Yeah.
but at least we'll be a step further. Yeah, and then we deal with the issues as they come
Come
up. Then.
on,
Good
yeah.
afternoon, caller.
So Smith,
Yes, last call, just 2 minutes. We have to close.
back to basic again.
Yes.
10, 10, 10.
Mm-hmm.
We make a decision as a people.
Yeah.
What did I do? Huh? What did I do? We make a decision that now.
No.
It was no half say them, say who say not. We make a decision. Today, we get carrying down with damn throat. You understand?
Okay.
Unacceptable. I'm going to say it and I'm going to say it again. We own people to blame because all them saying silent. Telling the big black mouth of the American talking. Yeah. All who are talk about me when I drink. Well, it is have you. Tell them I say get up now. A mosquito biting you. a mosquito biting you. Talk, say ow. Yeah. Good afternoon.
Okay, thank you. Anyway, folks, that's going to be our last call for today.
Oh. Well, I'm glad that still there are some people out there who think that something has to be done. So it's left for the general public now to take it into account and, yeah, let's do something. That's the only way we're going to get a change on the island. The only way.
Okay, final message came in here that says, Schmitz, good day. Holland don't depend on voters to decide what they have to get done on the island.
Good.
Understand that?
Yeah.
Holland don't depend on voters to decide what they have to get done on the island. Well, Holland don't depend on voters. The point is that if you have an election, you can elect your local government again. Yeah, and yeah, Holland is always going to have control, some level of control, because they put in money on your in your budget every year. So they're always going to have something to say. You're not going to get rid of them just like that. If this control that they have now, even if this comes to an end, they're still going to have control.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So, but like I say, we'll move a step further. Yeah. At least you can say that the takeover, occupation, whatever you want to call it, has come to an end, and then it will be up to our local governments again. Just like in the last 50, 60 years, as you say.
Yes.
Yeah, it will be up to them again to take over and
do the right thing,
move forward and do the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the big question moving forward.
I quite agree.
Okay. Anyway, folks, we have to close it off there for today. I want to thank all of you who called and sent messages to us, and those all for tuning in. Join us again next week, God's willing, when we'll have another program, Homeland Defense Live. I'm Glenn Schmidt, on behalf of Ra as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, and have a pleasant rest of your Sunday.